Hey, what's going on, everybody? You already know what time it is. It's the most swagged out, entertaining pro wrestling podcast on social media. Ring Psychology. We're gonna do things a little different tonight. Gonna be coming to you from our Facebook page on Facebook Live. Due to certain circumstances, we'll just put it like that, we were not able to actually do our regular broadcast that we normally do. So, yeah, we're going to call an audible tonight, but still going to give you some content and still going to keep you up to date and put you on what's been going around the wrestling world, especially the news that just dropped today. Wow is all I can say. We're going to get into all of that. We're going to definitely get into all that. But first and foremost, let me introduce myself for those of you that aren't as quite familiar with me yet, although you should be, because this is the 15th episode. You should be familiar with who I am. But nonetheless, I am yours truly, Two Live Brew. So, yeah, let's get down to the nitty gritty. So, the news that I was just talking about that dropped today was news that I probably thought I never hear, but at the same time, I never put it out of the possibility. But apparently, it has gained some steam and it might just come to fruition. And what I'm talking about is the former AEW TBS champion, if I can I say that? AEW TBS? Or I should say the former longtime TBS champion, Jade Cargill, has been rumored to be getting ready to sign with WWE and leaving AEW. Now, I saw this on multiple wrestling media platforms. Like I said, it has gained a lot of steam. We won't know just how true it is until we actually see Jade appear on either Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown or even NXT. But that is the news and has been the news of the day, that she is indeed supposedly going to be leaving AEW and signing with WWE. And if this is indeed true, then got to give a round of applause to WWE. I mean, if you're able to get a talent like Jade Cargill, and say what you want about her. I mean, yes, she's not the most seasoned performer when it comes to wrestling inside the ring, but man, oh man, can she draw a crowd. And she definitely has appeal in terms of not just being a superstar, but a megastar for women's professional wrestling. So, yeah, if that is the case and Jade is actually signing with WWE, then yeah, that's a huge acquisition for them. And you can bet that with Jade Cargill possibly in the mix in the WWE women's division, now let's think about this now. We've got Rhea Ripley, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Trish Stratus, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Bianca Belair, Raquel Rodriguez, let's see, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark. I mean, it's stacked, right? But you add somebody the caliber of Jade Cargill into that pool of talent, oh man. The WWE Women's Division is going to go to another height. They're going to be way beyond the stratosphere. They're going to be in the darn Milky Way, if you ask me. If they are actually able to sign Jade Cargill, man, they will have a huge advantage as far as the women's division goes. So if I'm AEW and I'm hearing these rumors, which I know they do, particularly Tony Khan, I am giving Jade Cargill the earth. Because it's bigger than just the world. I'm giving her the earth. Okay? I'm taking her out to 2 dinners. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving her the schedule that she wants. I'm letting her have creative control in her matches and her angles. Like, the whole shebang. Because I'm going to tell you, if Tony Khan and AEW let Jade Cargill get away, that's going to be a tremendous hit that will take a lot of time to recover from, unless they are able to work out some type of deal negotiation with Mercedes Moné. If they are able to work out some type of deal with Mercedes Moné, then AEW will be all right. Because if you compare Jade Cargill to Mercedes Moné, yeah, that's just comparing apples to peaches. Like, there's everybody knows that Mercedes is a way bigger star than Jade Cargill. But if they're not able to establish something with Mercedes, I mean, it'd be one thing if they were actually able to sign her to an AEW contract, but the second best thing would be to just do like a handshake deal with New Japan to have Mercedes appear on AEW TV very, very frequently. Or quite frequently, I should say. But yeah, that is a major bombshell. And again, hear me clear. I do not know how much merit this has. This is only a rumor for now. But the amount of attention it has gotten on the multiple wrestling media pages that have come across my timeline, and from the live streams that I've been seeing all over YouTube, it seems like this could be a possibility. Now, of course, we have not heard from Jade herself. Of course, she's not going to, pull the curtain back just yet. She's going to obviously, continue negotiations with AEW and WWE. More so WWE in this particular case. But yeah. If that happens, boy, whoo. I tell you what, if I'm Tony Khan, and if I'm somehow, some way not able to negotiate Jade Cargill into staying with the organization, then if she leaves, I'm immediately calling Mercedes Moné's people. immediately. Not even, it's no hesitation. No hesitation. Because we all know Tony Khan has the money. We definitely know that. We definitely know he has the money. So, yeah, we'll see. We will definitely see. But I know when I saw that, my eyes almost popped out of my body. Because as I said at the very beginning, starting this Facebook Live, I said, even though it was news that I thought I would never hear, I did not put it out of the possibility. Because all this time while Jade was on hiatus, we were hearing little whispers about her being somewhat frustrated with AEW. And she was talking about, well, she didn't like actually talk about it, but in her post on social media, she was hinting at the fact that she could possibly leave AEW and go to WWE. But it seems like it's all come back full circle now, because she's out there on the social media sites, pro wrestling social media sites, and as well as the social media, as well as the live streams, pro wrestling live streams as well. So, whew, boy, I just hope for Tony Khan and AEW's sake, they don't allow Jade to get away. Now, let me say this. Again, although that will be a major loss to AEW and their women's division, who desperately need a surge of life. Like, I can't even tell you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other wrestling fans have expressed this, but the AEW women's division has been inconsistent for a very long time. Now, you would think once Britt Baker became established that the AEW women's division was going to be okay. Because to AEW's credit, Tony Khan, he established Dr. Britt Baker into a bona fide superstar, because she is. And then couple of years later, when you add people like Ruby Soho, Saraya, who else? Marina Shafir. Just names aside from Ruby Soho and Saraya, but I'm talking about like the Marina Shafirs, the Mercedes Martinez, names that aren't as popular but are known in the business. Like, you would think when you would add people like that, you'd say, okay, now we got a women's division that we can build around. Apparently, that hasn't been enough. Especially these past couple of years, from 2021 and in 2022. Now, the end of 2022 coming into this year, things have increased to an extent. Like, the AEW women's division hasn't reached its peak yet, but Tony Khan, to his credit too, has been trying certain things in order to really establish the AEW women's division. But I said all that to say, once Jade came up and established herself as a superstar in AEW, then that's kind of when the women's division took off. But here's the problem. when Jade won the TBS championship, which she was the first TBS champion, the problem with that is they did not have any legitimate contenders for her, consistent contenders. They literally just tried the Goldberg philosophy with her. You know, have her own everybody and then try to figure out what was next after that. But it ended up backfiring on them because at that particular time, which was not too long ago, when Jade was on this historic reign as TBS champion, being that she had cleared out most of, I guess, the women in that particular division at that particular time, when you talk about the women in the AEW Women's World Championship division, a lot of those women were injured. I mean, we all saw Chris Statlander. She just returned in May. Thunder Rosa, she suffered an injury. She was out. Jamie Hayter is still out with an injury. Thank God Ruby Soho or Saraya didn't get injured. And even Britt was out for a little bit. So half of the, AEW women's division was depleted. And Tony basically had to make lemonade out of the lemons that he had. So a lot of that resulted in a lot of rematches for Jade, which she won, of course, and should have. But again, that question was still hanging over his head once this reign really started to, settle in and really reach its peak. Is like, okay, what are we going to do next? Now, thankfully, once we got around to Double or Nothing, Chris Statlander was just about ready to return to action. So that was a blessing that Tony Khan got, with Chris Statlander returning at Double or Nothing and her being the one to take the belt off of Jade. Cool. But still, once that happened, that question was still up in the air. What is next for Jade? Now that she's lost the title, what do you do with her now? So they did the next best thing, and they took her off of television for a while. Because she just came back, last week on Collision? So, yeah, man. And during that time that she was out, Jade became frustrated, and she expressed those frustrations. I believe it was on Twitter, X, or Instagram, one of those. But I know she was very blunt about her status in the organization. So I think that frustration has finally come to a head. And I think Jade has just had enough. And I think, she just wants to go somewhere where, she'll be able to maximize her full potential, take on some new challenges, and really get the most out of her character and her time in the ring. So this is really a very weird unfortunate situation that happened with Jade in AEW. So, like I said, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm giving this woman the earth. Seriously, I'm trying to bribe, do whatever I can to influence this woman to stay. Because, again, it'll be a big hit. But it won't be a hit that they can't recover from. Because they still have Britt Baker, Saraya, Chris Statlander, and like I said as well, if they can negotiate some type of deal with Mercedes Moné to get her on AEW TV often, then that'll solve that whole problem. But if they can't, then yeah, then you're going to have a tougher mountain to climb. But, I mean, we'll see in the next couple of weeks how much more heat this whole Jade Cargill thing receives. And if it gets any hotter, then AEW, watch out. Because, boy, that's a big home run for WWE if they're able to sign Jade and take her away from AEW. Man, like, if that actually happens, I'm just going to be honest with y'all, I will be stunned. If I actually see it happen, and I actually see a photo of Triple H, I'm not going to say posing, but if I see a photo with Triple H standing next to Jade Cargill, then yeah, I'm gonna be stunned for real, because that's a major move, especially at this point in time. That's a major move. So we'll keep y'all updated, and we'll see what happens and what comes of the whole Jade Cargill saga. Now, moving on. Speaking of changes and big moves, a lot of you probably have already heard, but then again, some of you may not have. The merger between Endeavor and WWE and TKO, along with the UFC, is official. This past Monday was the very last Monday Night Raw, or just WWE show in general, that will be under the control of Vince McMahon. There was a photo of Bianca Belair, Montez Ford. I think I saw Daniel Cormier, Triple H, and of course Vince McMahon, and the other owners, staff of TKO Endeavor outside of New York City to make the close on this deal official. So now the question is, what is going to actually happen? Like, what are the actual changes that are going to be made inside of WWE? Will we see UFC stars on WWE television? Maybe. Could we see WWE stars on UFC events? Maybe. But all I can say is that whatever changes that are made, I just hope that it won't be to the point where the stars in WWE, I'm talking about, that you've already established and are currently pushing, I just hope that they won't suffer because of this. That's my only hope. If a lot of the stars are going to have their pushes maintained and possibly elevated even more, then I'm down for it. I am. I'm down for it. That is cool with me. Straight up. Because the last thing I want to see is a WWE star that deserves to be pushed and is currently being pushed, being sent to the back of the line just because of what TKO and Endeavor want. Because to be honest with you, I don't think the people at TKO and Endeavor are actual pro wrestling fans. This is basically going to be like, I forget the name of that company that partnered and is currently still partnering with the UFC a few years back. Some type of entertainment company. I used to know their names just like that, but it's been so long. But I think this is going to be similar to how that was. When the UFC was partnering with that entertainment company and, we started to see a whole bunch of unusual changes that we weren't used to seeing. So I'm sure on the financial side, it's going to be good. Hopefully, this will equal more opportunities, both financially and as well as advertisements for the stars in the organization. But we'll see. Again, like the whole Jade Cargill thing, we will see. I don't know when, I guess these changes are supposed to go into effect. I'm assuming it's going to happen this coming week. If not Friday on SmackDown. So all we can do is watch. That's all I can say. All we can do is watch. Like I said, I just hope that with this new merger, I hope this doesn't take anything away from the stars that are currently being pushed on the roster. Because I will be pissed in my Mike Lowry voice. I will be pissed if I see somebody get leaped over that doesn't deserve to be pushed or has not done enough to be pushed, being pushed. I know I said a lot right there, but you get the point. So, yeah. Just keep everything the way that it is creatively. And like I said, if you are going to make changes, television-wise, ratings-wise, let it be with the current talent that you are pushing. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm going to tell you what. If I see something that I don't like and I get upset enough, I'm not going to be watching that much of WWE anymore. I'm just saying. I'll just strictly watch, AEW. And it won't be the first time that I've taken a hiatus from watching WWE. Because there was a time a while back where I did stop watching WWE television and was watching other companies. Shoot, There was a time where I stopped watching pro wrestling altogether. I know some of you won't believe that, but yeah, there was a couple of years where I'd stopped watching professional wrestling and just strictly watched mixed martial arts and other sports. Didn't care about wrestling. So, like I said, if you know some dumb, ignorant, unnecessary changes come from this WWE TKO Endeavor merger creatively that I don't agree with and become increasingly frustrated with, I will stop watching WWE again. I'm just letting that be known. So, you know, if that happens, then Ring Psychology is going to be a whole nother different podcast. Because trust me, I'm not gonna be tuning into WWE if they do something like completely uncalled for real. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna be watching closely and see what changes are indeed made because of this merger. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, going on. Let's talk about AEW Dynamite last night. I know we don't talk a lot of AEW on this show because certain people don't like to talk about AEW. Draco. But I'm an AEW guy, even though I do like WWE too, but I'm 99% All Elite Wrestling. I mean, Dre knows this. Jay Anderson, he knows this. I mean, anybody that knows me knows this, that watches professional wrestling. They know that I'm an AEW guy. But I like WWE too. Okay? So just wanted to reiterate that for any of you that watch this and will later comment on this and say like, oh, he's an AEW homer. Yes, I am. I'm putting it out there. But like I said, I do like WWE too, because there are a lot of WWE talents that I like and have liked for a very long time. So just wanted to make that clear. But anyway, AEW Dynamite was awesome last night. They are getting ready for their annual September show. I guess you could call it one of their, special shows. I guess their big TV events or what have you. Grand Slam. I think that's going to be next week. Yes, it is going to be next week from Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York. One of the featured matches on that particular event is going to be the AEW World Championship match. Now, recently, for those of you that don't know and don't watch AEW like that, they've been in the middle of having a AEW World Title, AEW World Title Take Two Eliminator Tournament, which consisted of Darby Allin, Nick Wayne, Pentagon Jr. or Penta El Cero Miedo. I think I said that right. Samoa Joe, Jeff Hardy, Roderick Strong, and was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. Or at least that's all I can remember. But anyway, so they've been in the middle of having this tournament for the past week or so. And it's been a very good tournament. The matches have been very good. The stories in the matches have been very good. Samoa Joe is the one that came out victorious, and he will get his chance at the AEW World Title against MJF at AEW Grand Slam in Queens, New York next week. Now, ever since they've started putting on this particular show called Grand Slam, which was, I believe, last year around this time, it has definitely turned out to be one of their better TV shows of the year. I can't remember what the main event was for last year's Grand Slam, but I know it was very good. I know that. So for those of you, WWE people, that don't watch AEW as much, put the beef aside, put the dislike aside, and just give it a chance. I know you hear Dre come on here and say, oh, they don't have good storylines or what have you. I mean, and some of you may feel that way because some of you may have, looked at one or two episodes and may not have been interested. And that's okay. AEW is not everybody's cup of tea. I totally understand. I am not going to dish you or anything like that. But what I'm saying is, with this particular show here, Grand Slam, just give it a try. Just give it a try. I promise you. It's worth it. Especially the stories of some of the matches that are going on in this year's Grand Slam. It's definitely worth it. I think it's, 3 title matches on this card, if I remember that correctly. I know the AEW World Championship, of course, is the main event. I know it's going to be a title versus title match. Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli for both the Ring of Honor World Championship and the New Japan Strong Openweight Championship as well. I'm trying to remember yes. The AEW Women's World Championship match, which is going to be very interesting between Saraya and Toni Storm. Now, for those of you that do watch All Elite Wrestling, you do know that Toni Storm and Saraya were members of, I should say Toni Storm was a member of the Outcast, which is the group that Saraya started up. So now that Toni is no longer a part of the group, apparently, and is going after Saraya's championship, it'll be very interesting to see how that particular match unfolds. And I just thought about it too. Now it's starting to come to me. Another match that I'm looking forward to seeing on Grand Slam is a one-on-one match between Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Now, everybody that watches AEW knows their story and knows that this match is kind of a full circle type deal. So I can't wait to see the drama that unfolds in that one. So it's going to be a good card. Like I said, ever since the first one, and ever since they started making it a regular thing, AEW I'm talking about, this has been one of the better shows that they put on TV throughout the year. I'd probably say this and Winter is Coming are their 2 biggest shows that are not pay-per-views. Now, the pay-per-views are slamming. But as far as just specials that they put on TV throughout the year, Grand Slam and Winter is Coming. Now, I want to say this is the 3rd Grand Slam. Or it might be the 2nd. I don't know. I have to go back and research that, but it has not been around that long. And I do know it's something that started, I believe, 2022 or 21. Again, I'll go back and research that. But anyway, it's a really good show. And I would encourage you, regardless if you're an AEW fan or not, if you are just a fan of pro wrestling, check out AEW Grand Slam next week. Like I said, just give it a chance. And if you don't like it, at least you'll be like, hey, at least I watched it. And at least I know now what I don't like about AEW. See, my whole problem with people that talk about AEW is a lot of them never even took the chance to really watch it. So they're quick to judge and criticize it and say that, you know, they don't have good storylines and, you know, they don't have any recognizable wrestlers in the organization, which is a lie. Jon Moxley, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose, Chris Jericho, Bryan Danielson, Sting, Christian, you know, y'all know those people. Don't act like y'all don't know. Y'all know who those people are. And even, I mean, Claudio Castagnoli, a.k.a. Cesaro. Y'all know who these people are. So don't sit up here and start doing all this babbling about, oh, they don't have any popular stars, or, you know, they just have like, you know, old WWE or former WWE stars. Okay, so does WWE. You know, where do you think AJ Styles came from? Was AJ Styles a homegrown WWE guy? No. I mean, Finn Balor. Who else? Ricochet. A lot of y'all don't know. For those of y'all that are real hardcore fans, Ricochet used to be in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma. That's right. He used to wear a mask. A lot of y'all don't even know that, do you? See? You know, I mean, LA Knight, everybody remembers him as Eli Drake. It's in Impact and in NWA. So don't be sitting up here talking all this hypocritical crap, saying that all they have is former WWE stars. Well, WWE has former Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground, what else? New Japan. I mean, come on, really? They got indie stars too. Come on, nobody knew who Gunther was before he came on the main roster. But I knew who he was when he was Walter. I've seen a lot of his progress. Sorry. I said progress. I mean progress. Like, I know a lot of these dudes that are in WWE right now from the indie scene. I mean, heck, look at Damian Priest, Punishment Martinez from Ring of Honor. Everybody remembers him as that. I mean, shoot, Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, Ring of Honor, Sami Zayn, even though he won't admit it, which I don't understand why he hasn't up to this point, but he used to wear a mask. And he used to be known as El Generico. So, yeah. Y'all stop with all that, man. Talking about, oh, all they got is former WWE people. Okay. So does WWE. So, let's just cancel all of that out and just enjoy. Okay? But what was I even saying before before I went on that rant? Oh, yeah. So again, I encourage y'all to just watch Grand Slam. Okay? Give it a try. And if you don't like it, fine. But don't go talking about another organization if you have not taken the time out to look at that organization's product yourself. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. At least take the time out to watch AEW Grand Slam. And like I said, if you don't like it, at least you'll know what you don't like and who you don't like. And that is okay. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. All I'm saying is the way y'all respect WWE and love WWE, give AEW at least that same respect if you don't love them. That's all I got to say. All right. Last thing, CM Punk. I know we here on Ring Psychology haven't gotten a chance to really dive as deep into CM Punk, but I want to take a little time to express my thoughts and feelings about him getting fired from AEW. When I first found out about this, actually, me and Jay Anderson had a real deep discussion about this, almost roundtable even, and really just gave our theories on, why he did what he did and what's in the future for him. So here's my side of it, okay? Now, when we go live on the actual broadcast, we'll get Dre Cole's and Jay Anderson's thoughts on this whole CM Punk situation. But for right now, I'm going to give you mine. So here it is. So do I think that Punk was right for fighting Jack Perry? No. You're the veteran. You're supposed to be the more mature, civilized adult / human being in that predicament. Why? For one, you're wrestling in the biggest wrestling event of your career, making the most amount of money you probably ever made since you left WWE. And on top of that, you're in a stinking world title match. So you got to use some level of discretion and some level of decorum. Now, on the other side, I can understand Punk is a very proud man. All the respect in the world for him for being that. And I understand, he's from Chicago. He's about that. He's not about to take nothing from anybody, especially when it comes to somebody running their mouth. I get it. You know what I mean? It don't matter if it's, professional wrestling or whatever type of line of work that we're doing. If somebody randomly comes and gets in your face, if you from a certain part of town where that's not tolerated and action has to be taken, I understand that. And like I said, I respect it. But here's the difference. If you know that you doing that is going to cost you your job, something that you need and something that you depend on to survive in life, to provide for yourself, but not only for yourself, but for others around you. If you know that that is going to cost you, then even though I know you don't always want to do it, sometimes, you know, you just got to comply. You got to walk away. Now, here's the thing. I don't mind him getting up in Jack Perry's face and telling him what's up. Because again, if you come from a real rough, rugged, gritty side of town like Chicago, you're not going to tolerate that. So in that regard, I respect Punk for that. But as far as like just getting physical with him, nah, you could have had a cooler head about it. Let him babble on. Because again, well, not again, but look at it like this. And this is something that we know and we see a lot in professional wrestling, but also in life too. When you got a younger dude that feels like he's entitled and that because he's reached a certain level of status in life or in his particular profession, you know they're going to talk. That's just how a lot of young people of this particular, I can't even say it. I'm so fired up now. That's how a lot of younger people in this particular generation are. They talk. They think they're a bunch of know-it-alls. And then you, being the older one, ever so often got to set them straight and let them know what's up. And in their youthful, wild and free mind, because they don't agree with something that you say, yeah, they're going to be sensitive. Yeah, it's going to get them hyped. Yeah, they probably going to want to throw down. But that don't mean you have to. Especially if you one of the top dudes in the organization. That's the thing that disappoints me about Punk. It's like, dude, you one of the top dudes in the organization. One of the faces of the organization. You can't be doing that stuff, man. Now, I can see if y'all weren't on the premises of, you know, the work environment. Like, if they had done this outside of Wembley Stadium, like, say if, you know, Jack Perry really wanted that smoke with CM Punk, and let's say he went in and told Punk how he felt about, I don't know, what was this fight over? Something about using glass or something in a spot or something like that. I could see if a few hours before the show, if Jack Perry and CM Punk were like out somewhere on the streets of London and they handled this stuff, like throwing down and all of that, okay, that's cool. Because you are not on the premises of the work environment. You are not doing anything to hinder the show. So it would have been perfectly justified had Punk would have popped him. If they were out in the street and not in the arena while the show is going on, yeah, I would have definitely said, yeah, CM Punk did what he should have done. Would have let Jack Perry know, you're not about to come up in my face and disrespect me. But again, outside the premises, on the premises, that's a whole nother thing. Punk should have been more mature, man. Because you know these young boys, you know they're going to talk, man. Because a lot of them, you know, especially in pro wrestling, a lot of them feel entitled, and a lot of them, you know, get these pushes, and, you know, they get this status. So they think they got rank. And they going to let you know they got rank. But you being the OG, you being the seasoned vet, yeah, you check them. You let them know what the deal is. But you just can't up and just start putting hands on folks, man. And then putting your hands on the boss. Like that right there was like, dang, Punk. What did Tony do? But just try to keep things under control and in order so nothing won't go wrong on his show, in his company. Like, why you put your hands on Tony, man? Like, Tony ain't do nothing. Tony was just trying to restore order. That's all he was trying to do. And I don't blame him. This is a man running $1 billion organization. And you want to sit up here and you want to let your street instincts kick in. All to just lose your job. That's a hell of a way to go out, man. Straight up. And everybody wants to talk about like, oh, well, why didn't Jack Perry get fired? Well, the reason why he did not get fired, and I don't know how y'all are going to handle this, but I'm just giving y'all the reality of the situation. Because while Jack Perry has become a superstar, he is not one of the main stars of the company. Because here's the thing. Had Jack Perry got fired, nobody wouldn't have been studying that. They would be like, oh, okay, Jungle Boy got fired. Oh, well, damn. That's a shame. But you hear CM Punk got fired. That's like, whoa. CM Punk got fired? Whoa. Now, at the same time, don't get it wrong, I do think Jack Perry should have been fired. I think Tony is being a little too nice and too soft by just suspending him indefinitely. You can't be out here fighting in the middle of a show, especially before the guy that, again, is one of the faces of your company is going out to do a championship match, literally about to walk out into the arena to wrestle in a championship match. And y'all back there fighting, like legitimately fist fighting. No. Your behind got to go too, partner. Like I said, I think Tony was being a little bit too soft and a little bit too nice on Jack Perry. Because I would have sent his butt right on out with Punk too. But I'm going to tell you, it's because Punk is one of the main stars. That's why. Tony not going to admit it, but that's why. He's one of the top guys in AEW, or he was one of the top guys, because, I mean, he's not in AEW anymore. But, yeah, that's why CM Punk got the worst end of this situation, more so than Jack Perry. And had it been vice versa, the same thing would have happened to Jack Perry. That's just how I feel. Y'all can take that how y'all want to take it, but that's just how I feel. For real. Now, as far as the future goes, it's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard for Punk to, well, no. No, let me backpedal. It's not going to be as hard, but Punk is going to have a lot of proving to do. If he does end up going to WWE or make up his mind that he wants to go back to WWE, he's going to have a lot of proving to do. For real. He's going to have to prove that he can get along with the talent in the locker room. And he's going to have to prove himself if that situation comes up again. Because I guarantee you, it's going to be some young dude in the WWE locker room that's going to have something to say about what happened to him at All In. Because, I mean, even though it's AEW and WWE, I mean, everybody know everybody. I guarantee you, a lot of the WWE people are cool with a lot of the AEW people. Maybe not all of them, but I guarantee you they got friends in AEW because a lot of them used to be in WWE. So trust me, it's people in WWE that know about what Punk did. Don't think they don't. Because trust me, they talk amongst each other outside of, performing. So they know about what went on. So that's why I say, man, Punk gonna have to prove himself. And another thing Punk gonna have to stop doing is he gonna have to stop being a bitter old man. Or stop acting like a bitter old man. Seriously. Because I believe that has been the fuel that has ignited this fire inside of him. To the point where, he's fighting people and stuff backstage at shows. Because he's bitter. I don't know why. No, wait, I do know why. Because he feels like this era of pro wrestling or this talent that's in the business right now is not like the talent that was around in his era. Okay, so what? Get over it, Punk. We living in the present. We not in the past anymore. So go ahead and yank that out your mind. Because I'm going to tell you, if he keeps carrying around this bitter mentality, he not going to be welcomed in anybody's locker room. And that would be a shame because regardless of how old Punk is, that man can still draw money. He still be a main attraction. He still be a top guy in any one of these organizations. But you got to let that bitterness go, player, because that's not going to fly. For real. That's why I said he got a lot of proving to do. If he does end up going to WWE, he got a lot of proving to do. Because they know. They know. Trust me, they know about what he did and what he had been doing. Because everybody cool with everybody. Only difference is they just work for different organizations. That's all. So in this particular period where Punk is quiet and not really doing nothing right now, I'm hoping he's doing everything that he possibly can to get this bitterness and sour taste out of his mouth. So that way, when he does decide to get ready to go back to WWE, he would have flushed all of that out. He would have learned his lesson, and he'll be ready to prove himself. Not only just to Triple H, but to the talent as well. And hopefully, if he does end up going back to WWE, hopefully we won't have to hear about none of this stuff again. Because if it happened again, then Punk just need to get the hell on and just go on home, man. Straight up. But that's my 50 cents on that. And with that being said, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a bow on this. But I do appreciate y'all tuning in and watching this. I'm pretty sure y'all will probably comment on this maybe later on tonight, maybe tomorrow or whatnot. But I just wanted to come on here and give you some type of broadcast and talk about the latest news in pro wrestling. Hopefully next week we will be back, all three of us, to give you an actual. Well, hold on. This is live. I should say we'll be back to give you a full broadcast. Just put it like that. So we'll see. But until then, I love y'all. As always, don't forget to follow the Ring Psychology Facebook page. If you want to catch up with me as far as like pro wrestling or whatnot, you could try all three of my social media platforms. Facebook is my original name, George Kennebrew. My last name is spelled Kennebraw. On Instagram, I am Livis_1. That is the word, not the number, _living. And of course, on TikTok, I am Special K _0788. I'll just go ahead and give my partners social medias too, in case y'all want to follow them. Dre Coles is I am Dre Cole, both on Instagram and TikTok. He's simply Dre Cole on Facebook if you want to reach out to him there. And of course, Jay Anderson is playing the SmackDown or Wrestling Cinemas on YouTube. He puts out some very good content on there. So when you follow him, go check it out and let him know how you like it. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and get on off of here. I love you all, and I will see you all next week. Two fingers.